Hi, 1 and 2-year-old leaders. We're preparing for September 20th and our final lesson in this series called Like Jesus. In this lesson, we'll be taking a look at how Jesus healed a man who was blind from the book of John, chapter 9. As you remember in this series, Like Jesus, we've looked to see how Jesus showed us his God powers, how he taught with authority, and how he healed people to show people that he was God, that he was a man, but yes, he was fully God as well. And that our response to figuring out that he is God should lead us to worship him, love him, and to find ways to tell other people about him. You will notice in your leader guide today, there's a few things to pay attention to as you prepare for the lesson. And these should be different unless I made a big typo. These should be different each time that you're with us, except for the big picture question and your memory verse. That'll be the same thing for the entire series. In our big picture question, we've been asking, why did God create people? God created people to worship him, to love him, and to show his glory by telling other people about him. The Christ connection helps you know how to connect the story to the gospel. And then your bottom line is the big thing that we want kids to take away from the lesson today. And what we want kids and you to realize from learning this Bible lesson today is when we need his hope, we can always trust Jesus. When we need to remember that he is good and faithful and true, that we can look to our Bible and find ways that he was good and faithful and true to other people. And remember, he will be that way for us. In your lesson today, you have a few fun things for the kids to do. I didn't give you the yarn because I find that our glue doesn't help the yarn stick very well. So how about getting some crayons out and letting the kids use their crayons to color hair on their faces. You also have a mirror that you can use. And each kid is going to get a face, and if they'd like different colored faces, they can have different colored faces. They'll also get a set of eyes. You have some scissors in your leader bags in your box if you need to cut those up for each kid to have just their 2 eyes for their face. And then they also will get one of these bottom line stickers that they can stick anywhere they want to. They can put it on the back, or they can put it down here like a little bow tie for their face, and then they can draw on the other features. What you should do with a kid is take the mirror and sit with them and get them to point out their different features. Show me where your nose is. Show me where your mouth is. Show me where your eyes are. Show me where your ears are. How about your chin and your forehead and your cheeks? And encourage them after they've figured that out to try to put that on the paper that you've given them. What we are seeing by doing this lesson today, by doing this activity with the kids today, is we're helping them see that God made each of us, and God made each of us uniquely, and to help us see that God is, that stories like today, where he heals the man whose eyes weren't working really good, where he couldn't see, and all of a sudden he could see. In fact, you can pretend. What's it look like when you can't see? Everything's really dark, right? And so a person who can't see barely notices that there's light most of the time. Their world is very, very dark for what they see. And when we are able to see Jesus, then we can see what is true about God. Your memory verse is John 3:16, so you can do the motions with the kids today and help them practice their memory verse. Remember, the memory verse helps them know that we go to God's word, the Bible, to help know what is true about God. And then you can pray with them. You have you might have coloring pages. If you don't, they can keep coloring on their paper, or if you need some extra coloring pages, there's always some in the cabinet in your room. Thank you so much for leading. Hopefully this is one of our last weeks living in phase 3 as a church. We hope next week we can shift and have everybody back in their small group spaces. Be on the lookout for some announcements coming from Heather or I as we prepare for that time. Until then, we're going to continue like we're in phase 3 and wear our masks everywhere we are so that we are protecting each other. You can leave your mask on or take it off. That's up to you. While you are working with the kids, wearing a mask with the kids is okay. If you want to take it off, that is okay as well. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.